Welcome back to Firearm 411. Before we get started, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Today, we're going to talk about West Virginia. Did you hear about them introducing a Senate bill to allow machine guns to be sold to private citizens? Well, if not, we're going to talk about it. I think that I'll title this video, West Virginia Wants You to Own Machine Guns, because that is, after all, their end game that they're going for. Obviously, if this bill gets signed into law, it would only be applicable to West Virginia for now. So that's the good news. The even better news is the bill introduced by Chris Rose and Zach Maynard is trying to establish a model for other states to follow. So let's get into it. In the state of West Virginia, Senate Bill 1071 was introduced, known as the Public Defense and Provisioning Act. It would create a state-run program to transfer machine guns to the public. I'm sure that most of you already know that in 1986, a ban on new machine guns being able to be purchased by private citizens was signed into law. It was called the Hughes Amendment. This meant that machine guns already owned by the public could still be bought and sold by anyone who was not a prohibited person, but any newly manufactured machine guns couldn't be. This put the price of machine guns well beyond the reach of most everyone except the very wealthy, a typical result of high demand and low supply. The wording of the Hughes Amendment does carve out exceptions, and the wording of the Hughes Amendment is key here. It says, does not apply with respect to a transfer to or by, or possession by, or under the authority of a state or any department or political subdivision thereof. So what the Public Defense and Provisioning Act would do is create a distribution system run by the state of West Virginia, which would acquire the guns, and the transfers would be handled by the state, thereby following exactly what is allowed by the wording of the Hughes Amendment. I know there will be people saying that they're just trying to exploit a loophole, and really, I've already seen that. However, I completely disagree. Just as I said earlier, if this were to be signed into law, they will be following the exact wording of the Hughes Amendment. And I don't consider that a loophole or exploitation in any way, shape, or form. Do I think this bill will ultimately get signed into law? I can't even begin to venture a guess. I can say that not a whole lot of proposed bills, particularly gun bills, get me all that excited these days. But this one is an exception. And I do think that West Virginia is an excellent testing ground for this. Remember though, even if this bill does end up as law, that doesn't mean that there still aren't going to be lots of hurdles ahead. After all, we're dealing with an overreaching government, much of which doesn't even want us to have AR-15s or handguns that hold more than 10 rounds. So you can just imagine how the anti-gunners would react to this bill. So let me know how you feel about the bill West Virginia is proposing, and if you think it has a snowball's chance in the Great Lake of Fire of getting signed into law. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.